Hey guys, it's Tony Butler, and hey, today we're going to talk about a little bit more about creativity. And what is creativity? How do I get more of it? How do I improve my creativity? And if I'm working on a team, what can I do to enhance the creativity of the team itself? Okay, and I'm also going to dispel some myths about what creativity is not. All right, so hey, if you haven't yet, please follow the channel, like this video. It helps us get the word out about primal storytelling and how it can be more authentic and marketing for humans. Okay, so let's talk about creativity. So look, creativity is not delivered to you in a lightning bolt from a muse. And it's not some sort of mystical thing where some people are born with creativity and some people are not. I'll tell you stories that in olden times, they thought that the only people who were creative were artists, and that the gods delivered creativity. They delivered ideas to humans, to humankind as a some sort of gift from the gods, a boon from the gods. Okay, the muses, they delivered creativity. But modern science says something totally different. All right, is that all human beings are creative. We literally think of ideas. We have an internal reality, and then we make an outward expression of that reality. And one thing to understand about creativity is that most creativity is iterative. It's not something like totally new out of the ether. Okay, meaning that we take one or two things and we combine them together and we make something new. Okay, or those two things existed, or we take something and we just improve it in some way, and then we improve it in some way. Completely new ideas, completely new inventions are very, very rare. Okay, they happen for sure, but they're rare. But creativity itself, it's not something that you possess. It's something that you do. It's a way that you see the world. It's something that, creativity, and this is the most important thing, creativity is a habit. So I spend time every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Even on Christmas, I get up and I do something creative. I do some writing. Maybe I'll make a video. I do something every day. Well, the reason I do that is because there's an enormous amount of evidence that shows that creativity is kind of like a muscle, and that the more you exercise it, the better it's going to get, the more creative you're going to be. And it's a really important aspect of it. So when someone's first getting started and they want to be a writer, for instance, writing a paragraph, writing a page, okay, and then they get that done, but then they don't write again for 2 or 3 days. Well, your mind, it moves away from that. It's not in the right mode, okay? If you've ever written or listened to anything about Stephen King, one of the things that he talks about is for decades, the guy has published dozens and dozens of books. Some of his books are 1 million words. Is that he just writes every day. Every single day he sits down on his keyboard and he writes. Okay, maybe it's a page, maybe it's 2,000 words, 3,000 words, doesn't matter, every day he writes. And there was a time when, a few years ago, it's been quite a while back, he was out for a walk and he got hit by a van. Okay, hurt really bad, broke his hip and a bunch of things, was in the hospital. And he had to stop writing for a while, okay? Well, getting started again was really hard, but lucky for him, he had muscle memory. And it's funny because I heard in an interview he was describing when he got started again, just how hard it was to write, how hard it was to frame his mind back into the process of writing. And, and of course he got back into it. And after he got started again, things went well for him. I personally had followed his Dark Tower series, which was one of his greatest works, and there was a huge gap in time between the books, and people were scared that he wouldn't finish it and he might die. It was a terrifying time. I'm sure it was more terrifying for him than us, but then when he got started again, he became even more prolific than before, and it's because he has decades of experience of sitting down every day and doing the work. Okay, so my advice is, if you want to improve your creativity, do creative things, okay? Creativity is your process more than it is in some sort of internal trait that you're born with. Now, some people, they have a different kind of vision. Some people can, learn to draw and they can spend time with the colors and, painting and that kind of creativity. And other people might have more propensity for writing or making a video or making a movie or storytelling, whatever. There's lots of kinds of creativity or outlets of creativity, but everyone is creative in some way. Okay, so never think that you're not creative, because you are. And that's the first step into helping you improve it, is just realizing that I am a creative being and I can improve my creativity. And once you know that, once it's something that you have it internalized, then you're going to take a daily action on it. And I would say start with a half-hour a day, or every day you just sit down and you do something. And I'll just use writing as an example. Do you want to be a writer? You want to be a copywriter? You want to write blogs, or you want to create something for your business? Then sit down every day, the exact same time, pick up your pen and paper and write. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just write something. Write a paragraph. Write about your day. Write about what happened. Write about your hopes, your dreams. You can journal. Okay, but get thoughts down, because that will open up the spigot. The water will start to flow. And if you repeat that day after day, what you'll find is eventually you're going to get a breakthrough. And then after a while, it'll get easier and easier, and you'll improve, and you'll go back and you'll look at what you did and you'll improve that. And then suddenly, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you'll look back and be like, wow, I've improved so much. Okay? It's exactly like bodybuilding, where can't get bigger if you don't lift the weights. So you got to show up at the gym every single day. You got to work the muscle. You got to get stronger. You got to show up again tomorrow and show up again tomorrow. Any one weightlifting, session, that's not going to make you that much stronger. It just gets you in the process. Okay? But imagine if you lifted weights really regularly for a whole year, for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Mr. Olympia wasn't built in a day. When Mr. Olympia was born, he was a little kid, just like everyone else, a little baby. And then he grew and grew, and then he started lifting weights, and he adapted, and he lifted weights, and he adapted, and he got bigger. Your mind works the same way. Okay, so get out there, form a habit around your creativity, and you'll get better. You'll become more creative. So never doubt you are a creative being. All right, Tony Butler, Primal Storytelling, be well.